And now we move to the core of regulatory and legislative scene. Our next session, titled Update on Saudi General Aviation Industry, will present a comprehensive overview of the development and regulatory effort to ensure the sector's growth and safety. We are pleased to welcome Mr. Sulaiman Almuhaimedi, Executive Vice President, Aviation Safety and Environmental Sustainability at the General Authority of Civil Aviation. So let me start with what are the most significant regulatory updates currently shaping the general aviation sector in Saudi Arabia?
Well, thank you very much. If you allow me, I'll just give a small introduction about me so the audience get to know me. My name is Sulaiman Almuhaimedi. I'm the EVP of Aviation Safety and Environmental Sustainability at the General Authority of Civil Aviation. I'm responsible about the oversight activities and functions in GACA, aimed setting the standards, regulations, and certifying entities and individuals to perform civil aviation activities, and then oversee them to assure that they maintain the required level of compliance at the time of certification, and to take any further action to resolve any safety issues that arise during the surveillance. Probably the other part of my role is to assure environmental sustainability, and usually in aviation, environmental sustainability always linked with the aviation safety, to assure that both grows hand in hand. We assure that we achieve our intended growth safely and sustainably. Now, going back to your question about the general aviation, and we believe that the whole aviation sector started from the general aviation. When we go back to 1903, the Wright brothers started as the general aviation. Then as the technology evolved over time, the other parts of the aviation evolved and formed. So the general aviation is an crucial and a main driver of the civil aviation development. Thus, GACA pays special attention to that sector, to enable it, providing that we aim to achieve three main principles or three main goals. One is enabling the access to the general aviation. Second one is to be proportional to risk during our regulatory oversight. And the third one is to enable the innovation in general aviation. And by building upon those three pillars, we will assure a sustainable growth of the general aviation in the kingdom. So if we want to take a practical example of what GACA has taken to enable the general aviation, in the month of October, we've published the final rule, for example, for a private landing strips for a public consultation, where individuals and companies, investors and others can build their private landing strips within their properties, also farms or other areas, to enable that activities to take place. Unlike what took place in the West, probably the development of the required general aviation infrastructure in the West was a result of the Second World War. But in the kingdom, we have to take an extra measures to assure the development and the establishment of the required infrastructure for the general aviation. So we are in the final stages of publishing that rule, which will enable investments and individuals to establish private strips to practice their own aviation activities. Probably on the other hand, something that we are proud of is the establishment of a mature-built regulatory framework, which resulted in the late 2024, the certification of the first mature-built in the kingdom. And we consider that is not just another step or another milestone. It is a turning point for the general aviation community in the kingdom, where we enable innovation, we enable aviation enthusiasts to be able to build aircraft, certify it, and fly it within the kingdom by the hands of Saudis, certified by the brains of Saudis, and practiced in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
And how is GACA enhancing the safety standard and compliance framework within the general aviation industry while still supporting the growth of GA?
So, okay, that's better. Well, this is a very important question, and I think this is the core that any civil aviation regulator or civil aviation authority around the world is trying to achieve, is to achieve the balance between production, growth, and the protection to assure a sustainable growth. Otherwise, the so-called Hindenburg effect could take place and shut down the whole industry and the whole sector. So basically, we have adopted several principles to allow us to assure the growth of the general aviation in the kingdom, and maintaining the required or the acceptable level of safety in the kingdom. One of which is a continuous review of the regulatory framework to assure that it is relevant, it is comprehensive, and it is proportional to the risk, removing probably the unnecessary burden or unnecessary stringent standards that may hinder the general aviation in the kingdom. On the other hand, is digitalizing our functions, is digitalizing civil aviation and regulatory functions and services. And GACA has came a long way in the digitalization journey. We've lately launched our electronic platform, which is called Ajwa, where all applicants can apply for all the regulatory services that GACA provides, streamlining the process, reducing the time, also removing the burden of administrative delays and unnecessary actions or steps to be taken. And the third one is the enabling the innovation in the general aviation. I think by maintaining the three main pillars, we will be able to be proportional, efficient, and sustainable for the general aviation and also for the wider spectrum of aviation.
And what key environmental sustainability initiative is GACA prioritizing for the future of general aviation?
Well, I think without sustainability, the Saudi Aviation Club would have not been able to establish its activity in a natural reserve like the one we are in today. I think the kingdom has developed a unique and bespoke environmental sustainability program that is built based on 7 pillars, starting from the greenhouse gases emissions to noise, local air quality, biodiversity, water and waste management, energy efficiency, and the climate change adaptation. And that is cascaded to all aspects of aviation, starting from the commercial aviation, aerial work, and to the general aviation, including the infrastructure and airspace, aircraft operations, etc. So we have developed a comprehensive framework with a very clear KPIs and targets that we are marching as an industry together towards achieving them.
Mr. Sulaiman, thank you for valuable insight. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Shukran, Your Highness.